All right, I'm here with Greg Simkins, otherwise known as Crayola, and we're in his studio in Torrance. What's up, Greg?
How you doing, Jason?
Very good. The dress code is, he said, is black Nikes and black pants.
Yeah.
And shirt. Did you go to art school? Did you always plan on being an artist? Was that a thing you dreamt of as a kid? Like,
I pretty much figured I'd be an artist. I didn't always think that would be my job, but I always did art since I was little. So ending up as an artist.
like you always like colored like on walls like I did?
Yeah. So always like, don't write on the walls. Like, of course I gotta write on the walls.
Well, where
That's
did the
for the
name
crayons,
Crayola
Mom.
start with?
Where did Crayola come from? How did I get the name Crayola? Well, there was this incident where I got thrown down this well when I was really young.
Really?
Yeah, and it was pretty horrible.
Did it have a rope and a bucket?
There was no rope and no
Oh, okay.
bucket. That's how it.
There was a painting that you put a well in.
Oh, there's a few paintings I've had the well in.
That's kind of a
It's
reoccurring.
that's because of the name Crayola. And when I was down in that well, you could smell a bunch of stuff. I had a little flashlight with me. I looked, and there was like a bunch of dead kids that had gotten thrown down there before I had. So I said, oh crap, I'm gonna end up like that. So what I did was,
This is a true story.
true story. I had a pocket full
the
of
dead
crayons.
kids, like,
Yeah, dude, like bones and.
come on.
It was horrible.
Where was this well?
It was in Torrance someplace because that's where I
Wow.
grew up, Torrance, California, the South Bay. And so I was really scared. I was like, what am I gonna do? And all I had with me was a box of Crayola crayons. So I'm like, well, I'd seen Wolverine climb his way out of things with his big claws. So I put the Crayola crayons between my fingers and I climbed my way out of this well. And I'm just happy to be here today.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing that you got out of that.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
They never found the kids.
I didn't tell them about the kids.
Yeah,
it was too horrible to remember.
Actually, you did that, the whole deal.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't put the kids down there. Some lady threw me down there. I forget her name.
Have your parents always been a big supporter of your artwork?
Huge. Ever since I was little, they pretty much not pushed me at all. They just allowed me to do art, allowed me to be creative. Didn't discourage me in any way. Like my dad built me like a 16-foot wall out in the back to paint on, to stretch canvases on, to just be creative on. So my next tattoo went out, I got Pop on my arm on a Bible,
right on.
like because my dad, represents him the best.
You're an artist upcoming. Do you have any advice to?
I just think in general, like to have a support group, like your friends and family backing you, especially as an artist. Like the fact that my wife is so gifted as like a manager and like, she talks to the galleries and like business stuff for me, so I can focus entirely on painting. And my dad will be working on stuff around here so I can focus on painting. They understand that I need to get all this crap out of my head and that there's a lot of it in there.
To kind of go back a little with, how did you get into graffiti?
The first thing that caught me when I got into graffiti was the characters and the productions. I'd seen in, book Subway Art.
Yeah.
With Scene in there. It was awesome. A bunch of other artists. And so I just started practicing that stuff. And I got really into the letters to a point where I didn't really want to do the characters as much anymore. I'd rather do letters and try to flip them. And
you have a really interesting way of laying out your lettering. It kind of mimics your painting. How the movement in your paintings.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know how that happened, but it does like that. They kind of flow like that. Most of the time, I'm always drawing. I'm always drawing in these kind of notebooks. I have black books and nice sketchbooks, but for some reason, the ideas flow better out of these guys.
You start with a thumbnail?
Yeah, I always just draw out ideas in here. Like, for some reason, there's a sheep in a boat. I don't know why. And it'd be funny to do like a Voltron out of porcelain kittens instead of robotic lions.
That's bad.
So.
I've seen your art on several collaborations, from Vans to Converse.
Yeah, I did a thing for Converse.
Converse, and then bands have been incorporated your artwork into theirs. Are there any bands that come to mind? Like, I think Pennywise is one of them, right?
I did a couple shirt designs for Pennywise. My buddy Dione was their manager.
Now, you did one for Seosin, for Hurley?
Yeah, I did. I'd previously done a shirt for them for their album that came out, and then Chris asked me to do a shirt. It was for, right? Yeah, the one I have on. It was for Seosin, it was for Hurley and Invisible Children, and I thought that was a good reason to do it because Invisible Children is a great charity.
If you want to know more about Greg's work, you can go to hurley.com to see the Seosin shirt and to buy one, or you can go to your website. You can go ahead and plug it.
Imscared.com. IMSCARED.com.
Perfect. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks.